I would like to request to understand is to be sure not to give up even when you find out what makes you happy. Chase your dreams and fight for it. Hello and a very good evening to each and everyone. I am Divyanshi Malviya from BAJMC third year and I welcome you all to the webinar on advertising and filmmaking, exploring multiple opportunities. I welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Devi Babuji, Chairperson, Mrs. Padmini Khazanchi ma'am, Managing Trustee, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Iyengar ma'am, Advisor, Mr. P. Babuji sir, Office Bearers of the Management, Special Invitee, Dr. Sonali Nargunde ma'am, HOD of School of Journalism and Mass Communication, DAVD, respected Principal, Dr. Unmekha Tare ma'am, Convener of the program and in charge of Mass Comm Department of SICA, Professor Jitendra Chaudhary sir, all the members of faculty, all dear students and participants to this webinar. Filmmaking is actually just a part of a massive umbrella that the media and entertainment industry is. It is an ever-evolving sector. The media and entertainment industry is plush with various kinds of audio-visual properties, and the creation of these assets requires highly skilled and qualified professionals from diverse backgrounds. This webinar will educate us about different opportunities available in this field. The world we build today, the world we build tomorrow is born in the prayers we say today. Sometimes all it takes is a prayer to change everything, to create wonders and to bring hope. Before starting the session, let us pray, for which I request Ms. Riddhi Killedar from BAJMC first year to present the prayer song.
Thank you. जय 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 माँ सरस्वती, जय 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 माँ सरस्वती, ज्ञान प्रदान करो हरो दुर्मति, ज्ञान प्रदान करो हरो दुर्मति, जय 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 माँ सरस्वती, जय 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 माँ सरस्वती, हंस वाहिनी विद्यादायिनी, हंस वाहिनी विद्यादायिनी, जगत पालिनी वेद कलामयी, जगत पालिनी वेद कलामयी, नित्य कृपा करु सरस्वती, सरस्वती देवी सरस्वती, जय 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 माँ सरस्वती. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Riddhi, for such a beautiful prayer. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. I request our respected principal, Dr. Unmekha Tare ma'am, for the welcome address and the introduction of the guest speaker, Ms. Devi Babuji. Please, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you so much, Divyanshi. An insightful evening to one and all. Mrs. Padmini Khazanchi ma'am, Chairperson, SICA Educational Trust. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Iyengar ma'am, Managing Trustee, SICA Educational Trust. All the esteemed office bearers of the management of SICA Educational Trust. Advisor, SICA College, Mr. P. Babuji sir. Special invitee, Dr. Sonali Nargunde ma'am, Head, School of Journalism and Mass Communication, DAVD, that is the Indore University, Principals and Vice Principals of SICA Schools. Convener of the webinar, Professor Jitendra Chaudhary, all the members of faculty and staff and dear students and all the delegates attending the session here on Google Meet and on YouTube. On behalf of SICA College, I welcome you all. It was rightly said by Stanley Kubrick, a renowned filmmaker, that the best education in the film is to make one. Cinematography is infinite in its possibilities, and advertising or filmmaking is a clever technique which is used by the brand management agencies. In filmmaking, the director plays with the mind of the audience, and documentary is a special art which deals with fact and real life events, and their purpose is to inform and to educate the masses. Despite there is difference between the filmmaking and documentary, both use cinematography and follow a script. I'm very, very happy to have such a personality who excels in this field. The daughter of Indore, the pride of our nation, spreading knowledge and experience at global level to guide, to interact, to educate, to nurture the young buds. Yes, I'm talking about the expert speaker of the day, Miss Sridevi Babuji. A seasoned copywriter and a documentary film writer, Sridevi holds over 9 years of international and regional expertise in the communications business. Currently based in New York, her experience spans working with leading advertising agencies like DDB Mudra, Leo Burnett, and publicists in Mumbai. Her work in the field of advertising and documentary filmmaking has been awarded and recognized at Cannes Ad Festival, AdFest Lotus Asia Pacific, Chicago South Asian Film Festival, New York Indian Film Festival, Carious, Uppercase, and other ad art platforms, and so many more. Over the years, she has single-handedly developed and implemented successfully countrywide advertising campaigns for Citibank, Neutrogena, Marico, Lavazza Corporation, Lipton, etc. We are really privileged to have your esteemed presence and valuable guidance for our students of not only the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, but also BBA, BCom, BSc Computer Science and Statistics, and all the delegates who have joined this webinar from the diversified fields. Here, I would like to add that our magnificent SICA Trust, it is not only providing the education, but also rendering many valuable services, not only for masses in general, but humanity in particular. Our institution, SICA College, is a growing institution, growing college of the city of Indore, but I'm sure with the blessings and guidance of our management and wishes of you all, we'll march forward towards becoming one of the leading colleges of Central India. Today's international webinar and invited expert talk is one step towards achieving our goal. And I'm thankful to Sridevi ma'am for accepting our request of guiding the youth. Here, I would like to mention that Ms. Sridevi is loving daughter of our advisor, Mr. P. Babuji sir. So on behalf of SICA College, I welcome you all to this insightful session on virtual platform. Once again, a heartfelt welcome to each one of you. Thank you. Over to you, Divyanshi.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." Exploring and finding passion to bring change and sharing her experience, I request our chief guest speaker, Ms. Sridevi Babuji, to start the session. Please, ma'am.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're able to hear me well, and I will share my screen. Thank you. Thanks for confirming that, Divyanshi. So, I would like to start by saying a very big hello and good evening to all the students and teachers who are able to attend this webinar. I truly appreciate the positive attitude of all you students who are looking forward to achieving big feats in the industry of mass communications amidst these very difficult times that we as a world are facing right now. I really hope and pray that COVID-19 pandemic is a thing of the past real soon. So let's start talking about advertising industry, right? What are your first thoughts when you think about advertising? There are multiple ideas that float around. Advertising is a typical 9-to-5 cushiony job, they say. Well, it's not. It's definitely not a cushiony job. Advertising is all about partying 24/7. Not at all. That's another myth that needs to be broken. Advertising gives you the most bang for your buck. Not really true either. So I don't want to sugarcoat it to you guys, but advertising is brutal. Advertising is not just a career, it's a lifestyle. You are thinking of ideas while sleeping, eating, watching TV, or even while in the bathroom. Basically, your mind is bustling with ideas 24/7. It's definitely not just about partying. Everybody says, copywriters hamesha party karte hain. Aisa nahi hai. So you barely get the time for it. You are bound to be working, or you're found burning the midnight oil for about 7 days a week. Yes, the weekends is not a thing. There are so many deadlines to meet, campaigns to write, brands to sell, and clients to please. It's a lot of hard work. Well, about money. I'm sorry to burst the bubble here, folks, but advertising does not really fall under one of the highest paying jobs in the world. But that doesn't mean you don't get paid well ever. You do. But for that, you need to prove your mettle in the industry. Create work that makes you stand out. Create work that stands out. Achieve what other people other people dream about achieving, right? So that's advertising in a nutshell for you. So you guys would be wondering, like, who am I? Why am I telling you all this? I'm sure Dr. Unmesha Tare has already has introduced me, but I'm a copywriter by choice, not by societal pressure. You know, mummy, papa, chacha, mami, सब बोलते रहते हैं, डॉक्टर बनो, बेटा इंजीनियर बनो. कोई ये बोलता नहीं है वैसे आके copywriter बनो, right? So so I dreamed about being a copywriter since I was in 10th standard. And my parents and my brother was really supportive of that, no matter what stress that entailed to the family, but they supported my passion, and they supported this goal of mine to become a copywriter one day. And in the last 12 years, I have been in advertising, creating multiple national and international awards for Citibank, Lipton, Samsung, Johnson & Johnson, Nerolac, Parley, etc. I have been working in some very big advertising agencies, Leo Burnett, DDB, and Publicis. And over the years, with my work, I have also been very blessed to have achieved multiple awards, international awards, which are listed on the slide, if you can see. So that's why this webinar is just my 2 cents for you and what I have learned from my decade-long experience in the industry. So when I say I was a copywriter, right, advertising just doesn't mean copywriting. Advertising is so much more. Mass communications in general is split into 3 umbrellas: journalism, advertising, and filmmaking. And at some point of time, they all go hand in hand. They do merge, right? So there are multiple fields in advertising if you choose to be. So there are 3 main areas that you would be looking at when you get into advertising. One is client servicing. So client servicing is the person who gathers requirements, who is the person who faces the client. He writes creative briefs. He takes the brief from the client on what is needed, what is to be sold. And he comes to the creative team to brief as to this is what you have to do and come up with something creative. Client servicing person needs to have a thick hide. They are the walls between the creative team and the clients. If the client is angry, client servicing person is the one who faces the wrath of the client. If a creative person is angry, why the client is not understanding his idea, who's the person who's facing the wrath? It's client servicing. But they keep trying, because end of the day, he's the only one who can bring both parties to a neutral ground and help sell some work, which will one day sell a lot of those products that they are all planning to sell, right? The second one is planning and brand strategy. So if a client, I'll give you an example. If a client wants us to sell coffee, the role of planners is to define who are these people who are, we are talking to, who are we selling to? They are these people, are they even coffee drinkers? What if they just drink tea? They're not coffee drinkers at all. Then we are literally talking to the wrong person, right? So they kind of define the target consumer. They come up with consumer profiles, and they come up with things like, okay, what is something that is missing in today's coffee brand that the person is using, and what else does he need in his coffee that we can provide in the brand that we are trying to sell him. So planning is a very, very important part of advertising. And if you are someone who's curious about how things work, who loves doing market research, planning is for you. And the third one, my favorite, is creative, right? Creative, again, anybody can creative. Like even a client servicing or a planner can come up with ideas. So don't get me wrong when I say creative team. It's just that they're branded as a creative team because they are the kind of face of the ideas in an advertising agency. So there are two main people who form a creative team. One is a copywriter, one is an art director. They always work hand in hand. Copywriter writes, art directors design. Art directors are sometimes called designers as well. But who thinks, like who comes up with the idea? Well, it's both. Sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's like just the copywriter. Sometimes it's just the art director. It's always the better idea that wins. And no matter where the ideas come from, even if a client servicing person has come up with a brilliant idea that is going to sell your product well, then you need to let go of your creative ego, take that idea, make it better, make it sound better, make it look better, and then, put it out there in the market. So both copywriters and art directors have a different way to express their ideas differently. So once the idea is finalized, both of them work in harmony together to create a perfect match of words and design to create an end product that will sell the product and to the consumer, which is our key goal every time we are creating an advertisement, right? So I wanted to reiterate, to be in advertising, you don't need to be an expert in a language or a specific skill set. For example, if you are not good in English, it does not mean you cannot become a copywriter. There are multiple copywriters out there who are very good in Hindi. I can give you some examples offhand, but they come up with amazing ideas and they know how to sell things. आप लोगों ने दंगल तो देखी होगी. So Dangal is written and directed by one of my ex-bosses. His name is Nitesh Tiwari. About 10 years ago, he couldn't speak a fluent line of English, but today he is one of the most prestigious award winners and the most sought after directors and copywriters in the industry that we know. So don't get disheartened. If advertising is so huge, there will be something that you will be good at and you can contribute in your own way to the advertising industry. All you need to do that is dynamism, and passion for it, passion to create something different, and passion to make a difference in someone's life by either generating revenue for your client or by making a difference by providing or introducing a brand or a product to a consumer which he really loves. And creativity, it goes without saying. So you need to have a creative bent of mind. It's not that, there are multiple ideas out there. All you need to do is come up with a unique idea, something that doesn't exist, or if it exists, then how to package it differently, how to say the same thing in such a unique way that people would have never heard of, right? So another thing about ideas, right? An idea in itself is empty. Like an idea is not an idea until it's told. It becomes great only when it's told well. To be a good copywriter, you have to be a good storyteller in whatever form you choose to tell the story in. The best part about being a copywriter is that you have the loudest voice without really using your vocal cords. You just need to bring your idea out to the media. And sometimes when that idea spreads like wildfire, you would have brought about a change without even opening your mouth and saying a word.
पेंट किया, ये तो शौक है हमारा। ये गाड़ी बनाना है, गाड़ी चलेगा, कमाना है, चलेगा, दुल्हन की तरह चलेगा।
Like when I said to somebody that my student is working on truck art, he said, yeah, is that art? They wouldn't believe that this was something that it's an art form.
Truck art has been around for a really long time. I wouldn't say in a communication field that truck art has influenced it, but certainly you can see that the spirit of the Indian people, the way they are, they're very warm, they don't hide their feelings on the face. You can see exactly what an Indian is feeling from his face. So it's truck is an extension merely of that. We are that loud and we are that expressive that you can tell my state of mind just by reading the back of my truck. That's the kind of person I am. Yeah, I think it's been a kind of a symbiotic relationship almost between the typography that was seen on buildings earlier and then on truck arts. You could see, if you take a walk around the fort area of Bombay, the buildings from about 1920s or 1930s, they had these lovely building names were rendered in wood. The wood types, the wood cylinders used to be cut, and beautiful fonts and everything used to be made on that. And you find remnants of that have been taken into the truck art, you know, where the truck artists themselves, they try to create this 3D kind of a lettering and they do this shading and everything, and the fonts are derived from there. So you see a lot of this back and forth happening between the architectural design and the truck art design.
It is unwise to predict with precision what the future holds for truck art in India. An age-old tradition and an institute in its own right shall always have those in favor of it and those who may no longer see much value in it.
हमारी जिंदगी गाड़ी है, दुनिया से हमें क्या मतलब है, गाड़ी हमारा वतन है, मर जाएंगे किसी मोड़ पे तो पार हमारा सफर, ये गाड़ी वाले का शहर।